Hello, Leo. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. There we go. For the main part of the read, the Bonefire Tarot by Gabby Angus West. Supportive Oracle cards, Wisdom of the House of Night, and then the back here above the barcode is who created them. There's two people. If you look them up on Amazon, though, you can find the decks and the people who created them very easily. If you would like to know. Kind of having a teeter-totter feel here. Gonna cheat and look for. Ooh. Oh, this might be fun. I'm kind of excited about this. Maybe a little jealous because I want this one. I'm not a Leo. I don't think I have much Leo in my chart, but this looks like it's good. All right, so Leo. Now this is fun. I like the way this starts. You got honesty and the warrior on your side, which it's interesting because you may not have saw it this way, but you came flat out with the truth at some point. This is in the past, and I feel like you might have realized it slightly by the reaction to the person you said it to. Like you felt a certain way about somebody or a situation. It could be a situation, but take it with a grain of salt. You just flat out said what you were thinking. Just, you let it go. I feel like for you, it was just like, well, why not? Why wouldn't I? But the other person, they might have had one of those looks like, oh, okay. And you're just like, well, what else would I say? It just feels like it's the warrior mode with the honesty. There's a person I'm thinking of. I haven't seen her in years, but she was definitely a Leo. Very good person. But sometimes, she'd just be matter-of-factly saying things, and she would just knock you out. Just if you're going to go skipping down the street and roller skates in the middle of the highway, you're going to get hit by a car. It just, just boom, right there you go. And it's just flat-out honesty, can't feel bad for you if you're going to do something stupid. Just one of those things. I'm feeling your brutal honesty came forward, but I'm just feeling like the other person was just kind of like, ooh, okay. I also feel like when you did that, somebody had a weird reaction to it, but I also feel like it played off kind of well. I'm getting the playful energy, kind of it didn't become a problem. You maybe might have made it a joke or just kind of kind of talked it out a little bit. Wasn't an issue. It was something that very much sunk into this person. They got the Hermit card, they got the Seven of Wands, and they got the King of Wands. Now, the King of Wands, you'll notice, is at the bottom and is kind of hidden. That's the King of Wands right there. So I'm feeling like this is something you said to somebody, very brutally honest, just boom, you're gonna run into traffic with your eyes closed. I can't feel bad for you if you get hit by a car, like you asked for it, literally you asked for it. It's just very brutal like that. If that's what you did, then how can somebody feel bad for you if you're just gonna do something that careless? You made somebody think, because I feel like your version of what was happening and their version was different. You just went forth with the brutal honesty, if you're going to run into traffic, you might want to at least open your eyes. I feel like you might have said something like that, and they're kind of like, well, that should be obvious, but I wasn't seeing it that way. And you just made a very clear point, a very, very, very clear point. And I feel like there might have been a little conversation, could have been a little lighthearted. And I feel like even if they weren't doing it themselves, they didn't see it the way you put it forward. They didn't. Before you said that, they literally didn't see it that way. But after you said it, they're like, oh yeah, well, that makes sense. Yeah, that's true. That's true. They've thought about it. I feel like they had to wrestle with it a little bit with the Seven of Wands, kind of it should have been more obvious, but it just wasn't to them. It just wasn't. And by you putting it out there, to you it might have been just well, duh. But they needed to hear it. You had a very profound effect on somebody is what I'm getting. I like where this is coming forward. Now, it could go a few different ways, but what I'm getting is I feel like your bond with this person over time gets stronger. And it's mostly due to the other person and how the other person treats you, because they're really finding a lot of value with your brutal, straight to the point honesty. I feel like for the people this is hitting with, just sometimes it's just, boom, there it is. This is what it is. That's, You just get right to the point. And you're not trying to. You're not looking to shock anybody. It's just like, well, this is what it is. This person is really seeing a great value to this, and they're loving it. They're really loving it. They're really valuing you. They're seeing a good person, and they're like, you know what? If the Leo didn't tell me things like this, there's probably a lot more I'd miss out on. The fact that you're conversing with them and telling them how you're seeing it really opens their eyes. It doesn't mean like they're just absorbing everything you say, like, you know, you're the messiah of the world. But like they take value when you say something to them. They take value in it and they think about it, and they're like, well, all right, let me think about that. All right, let me see this version. Let me see this angle. They very much value your input. Okay, so this is going forward. There's like a racing energy here. Now, is this positive? It is positive. Something comes back to you because of this. You're not expecting it. I don't feel like you're looking at this person like they can do something for you. Now, it could go a lot of different ways, but what I'm getting here is it could be a romance thing. It could be a business opportunity. There's something like that. I feel like for a lot of you, it's something to do with money because you're shocked by it with the Tower card. You've got the Lover's card, which could be romance, could be. It doesn't have to be, but you're loving it, whatever they're coming back. This person is paying you back in a sense. And you got the last card, the Justice, which is it really makes me feel like there's money for a lot of you here. Somebody is pulling you into a situation because they feel that the person you are, you have a lot of integrity and you don't hide. You don't keep secrets. When something needs to be said, it's there, right out there. It needs to be said, you're going to say it. You're not going to play with it. You're just like, well, this is what's happening. Boom, there we go. It could be romance for some of you. And I feel like for those of you that's coming forward with romance, I feel like you're kind of a little bit... I feel like you're going to laugh at first because you're kind of like, really? In the sense of like, you didn't think they were interested, but you're also kind of like, you're kind of worried, like, oh, can you really handle me? Like, can you really handle my life? It's kind of like, I don't know. Because you're like, they seem more reserved than you is what I'm getting. And you're kind of like, oh, I don't know if you can keep up with this wagon. I'm just saying. So some of you, if it's coming forward with romance, you're a little bit tickled, you're kind of taking it a little as a joke at first, kind of like, oh, I don't know if you can keep up with this wagon. I don't know, but we can keep thinking about it. It's worth a roll. It's worth a shot because you're getting a lot of devotion. Whoever this is really values you. They got the Love card. They got the Moon card where they're just kind of like everything you do. I feel like they're like smitten by everything you do. Doesn't have to be romantic. But this is somebody who just very much sees a very good person, sees a very valued person. They like how you do things. They feel like the way you do things is better than they've seen other people do things. And they're remembering when you gave them a hint or when you did that brutal honesty in the past, like this is really the foundation. Like you told them something. You told them very brutally, but it helped them. That's why reminder is popping out here. When you did that and you shocked them and you said something quite brutally, I feel again to you probably wasn't, but to them it was, it helped them. It pulled them out of a situation and moved them up a couple levels because you gave them that heads up and you shocked them with it, which kind of is something they needed, and it improved their situation and it helped them move forward. It helped them improve their standard of life. At the end of this, I feel like they're saying like this is somebody who's greatly devoted to you. I also feel that the Tower card is saying you're not expecting it coming forward, but this is a good thing. They're saying give this a shot. Whatever this is coming towards you, they're like give it a fair shot. Give it a fair roll. Just see where it goes. Be it romance, be it work, be it whatever it is, because I feel like it's an opportunity in some sense coming towards you that you're like, I feel like especially with the Tower card there, I feel like some of you are kind of giggling like, oh, I don't know. But they're saying give this a fair roll because there's a lot for you to value here, a lot more that could come out of this than you're expecting. You might match this situation more than you really expect. Give it a fair roll. Give it a shot. See what happens is what they're saying. Because this might be something you not only want, but very much deserve. Very positive, very good. Are we good? All right. I think we're there. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.